Imagine waking up one morning to find that your refrigerator has been sending your banking details to hackers in North Korea. Not just that, but your smart coffee maker has been recruited into a botnet army attacking critical infrastructure. And your digital assistant has been recording your most intimate conversations to be sold on the dark web. While these scenarios might sound like the plot of a dystopian sci-fi movie, the reality of cybersecurity in 2025 isn't that far off. In fact, just this past February, a staggering 2.7 billion records were exposed in a single breach when hackers exploited weaknesses in Internet of Things devices, demonstrating the massive scale of modern cyber threats. The attack compromised Wi-Fi passwords, IP addresses, and email credentials across multiple networks, allowing and showing how deeply interconnected our digital lives have become. But at the end of all these smart things is a person like you, and you don't need actually these things to be exposed to cyber threats. How, you may ask? Well, you get this fantastic job offer, and all you need to do is open a link supposedly describing the details. It looks like a LinkedIn link, but well, it isn't. Or you just got an email from your airline with that fantastic offer to redeem your useless frequent flyer miles, plus you get 20,000 miles as a bonus. All you need to do is click on the link from the airline's promotional partner. Or your friend's wife is planning his birthday celebration way ahead of time. You don't know her that well and you don't know how she got your email, but you're glad she remembers about you. And you click on a supposed calendar app link. In all these cases, you are the only barrier and the only gateway to all your secrets and resources. Why am I talking as you made all these mistakes yourself? Well, because 82% of cybersecurity incidents involve the human element. Today, on Knowing is Winning, I will talk about the current cybersecurity situation, how it can affect you personally, your family, and your employer or your business, and how you can stay vigilant and what tools you can use to protect yourself. The cybersecurity landscape of 2025 has evolved dramatically from even a few years ago. Artificial intelligence has transformed from a defensive tool to a double-edged sword that's reshaping the entire threat landscape. According to recent studies, a shocking 87% of global organizations have faced an AI-powered cyber attack in the past year alone. These aren't simple attacks either. They're sophisticated, adaptive, and increasingly difficult to detect or prevent. The financial sector has been particularly hard hit, with attackers deploying a blend of deepfake voice calls, AI-generated video messages, and social engineering tactics across multiple communication platforms. In one particular brazen case, attackers targeted a CEO through a sophisticated AI-powered assault that began with WhatsApp messages to establish trust, moved to Microsoft Teams for further interaction, and culminated with a deepfake voice call that successfully extracted sensitive financial data. There has been a 4,000%, yes, 4,000% increase in malicious emails since ChatGPT's launch, and approximately 40% of business email compromise attempts are now AI generated. Then there is ransomware. Give me your money or we'll never again get access to your computer. Or we will, get all the money from your banking accounts. Well, ransomware continues to be one of the most disruptive forms of cybercrime, with attacks increasing at an alarming rate. According to analysis from Cyberyai, US ransomware attacks increased by 150% year over year in just the first 5 weeks of 2025, with 378 reported incidents. The tactics have evolved as well, with attackers now employing what security experts call triple extortion, not only encrypting data and threatening to leak it unless paid, but adding additional layers of threats to maximize their chances of payment. Supply chain tactics and attacks have extended the blast radius of these incidents, with one attack potentially affecting thousands of downstream organizations. The infamous Club ransomware gang demonstrated this approach when they inserted malware into MOVEit file transfer software used by 1,700 organizations worldwide, impacting victims as diverse as the BBC, Irish Airline, and numerous government agencies. The healthcare sector remains particularly weak and vulnerable, suffering an average of 2,400 weekly attack attempts per organization thus far in 2025, according to Checkpoint Research. This represents a 40% increase compared to the same time frame last year, with North American healthcare organizations experiencing a staggering 57% increase year on year. The surge in attacks has prompted many to call this what it truly is, a public health crisis resulting from cyber insecurity. But moving on to the global stage, state-sponsored cyber activities have also intensified in 2025, and we are not talking only about the Chinese or North Korean hackers who act with the full support of their governments. Variety governments now have the cybersecurity special units. Every army in the world, I believe, has one. I don't know if you knew this, but during the recent Israel-Iran conflict, a group of hackers, not sponsored but linked to Israel, completely wiped out all financial records of the bank SEPA used by the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. They wiped out all the financial data. I would say that is truly spectacular, wouldn't you say? I mean, it's absolutely amazing. Now, moving on to specific tools and ways they try to fool us. The deepfake technology has become a major cybersecurity concern, with financial losses from deepfake enabled fraud exceeding $200 million during just the first quarter of 2025, according to Resemble AI's the Q1 2025 deepfake incident report. This report suggests an alarming escalation and growing sophistication of deepfake enabled attacks around the world. While 41% of targets for impersonation are public figures, primarily politicians followed by celebrities, the threat isn't limited to these groups, as another 34% of targets are private citizens like you or I. In the US, a deepfake attack was attempted every 5 minutes in 2024. The top 4 uses were non-consensual explicit content, scams and fraud, political manipulation, and misinformation. Deepfake use is now led by video, that's 46%, followed by images, around 32%, and audio, 22%, with voice cloning now requiring just 3 to 5 seconds of sample audio to create a convincing voice. In facial manipulation, 68% of deepfakes are now nearly indistinguishable from genuine media. Some of the most unusual cyber threats have emerged in 2025, demonstrating the creativity and adaptability of modern attackers. In May 2025, a financial institution in Asia was hit by the Fog ransomware, deployed alongside an unusual toolset that included dual-use and open-source pen testing tools not previously observed in ransomware attacks. The attackers used a legitimate employee monitoring software called Cyteka, which is highly unusual in ransomware attack chain. And they also deployed several open source pen testing tools like GC2, Adaptix, and Stowaway, which are not commonly used during ransomware attacks. What made this attack particularly notable was that a few days after the ransomware was deployed, The attackers created a service to establish persistence, an unusual step in a ransomware attack, as malicious activity usually ceases once the attackers have exfiltrated data and deployed the ransomware. Pretty scary. So, you ask, what can I do to prevent cybercrime? Except for being always vigilant and using strong passwords that are changed frequently. Well, what you can do on your own is to use the multi-factor authentication, which involves using 2 or more different types of verification factors to prove your identity, significantly enhancing security beyond just, your password. The main categories of authentication factors are, something you know. So passwords, PIN numbers, security questions. Something you have in your possession, smartphones, hardware tokens, security keys, so text messages on your phones or emails. Physical devices like USB security keys or smart cards that generate or store cryptographic keys for authentication. They are very secure but require carrying them with yourself all the time. And also, fourth but probably most convenient and important are your biometrics, like fingerprints, facial or voice recognition. Great, but what about my business? How can I protect it from hackers? And here I have decided to dig deeper beyond the usual antivirus or anti-malware software. I was looking for something dynamic that would learn and be as current as possible with the latest scams. It was not easy, but I found this one small company. I just love these companies that nobody knows about, probably working out of a garage somewhere, I imagine, just like Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak when Apple was just a seed. Now let me get my notes so I can pronounce the name of the company properly. Okay, it's called Cyberlyai. Why did it catch my attention among the plethora of cybersecurity applications? Cyberlyai, in my opinion, is really interesting because it leverages advanced AI technologies to provide real-time automated threat detection, prevention, and incident response. And that is exactly what I was looking for. Good AI beating the bad AI. And unlike traditional methods that rely on signature-based detection, Cyberlyai's AI-driven system can identify unknown and sophisticated threats by analyzing behavioral patterns and irregularities. It continuously collects and correlates data across the entire organization to predict breach risks and prioritize mitigation efforts. AI algorithms improve detection precision, minimizing wasted resources on false alarms and enabling security teams to focus on genuine threats. The AI system also processes vast volumes of data faster than human analysts, providing timely alerts and actionable insights. Yes, it's another way to use AI for good, actually to fight the bad guys. This AI-powered cybersecurity platform augments human experience, automates complex tasks, and adapts to evolving cyber threats more effectively than many traditional or less advanced solutions. It uses advanced machine learning to analyze vast amounts of network traffic, user behavior, and system activity. Get this, it leverages so-called natural language processing to detect phishing, social engineering, and malicious communications by interpreting human language in emails, chats, and documents, which helps to uncover threats that traditional tools might miss. Then, after that, it automatically responds. What is more, this platform continuously updates behavioral baselines for users, devices, and applications, enabling detection of subtle or evolving threats by spotting unusual patterns such as abnormal data access or logins from unusual locations. Also, it helps the users to be vigilant by creating and sending seemingly randomly potential threats to the users and testing them this way in various ways. It's de facto creating a situation where users are continuously tested and continuously reminded to be vigilant. I mean, wow. Wow on so many different levels. I have posted a couple of films here on how AI is helping us right now, but that really blew my mind. What an amazing idea and what an amazing sophistication. Now, as we conclude this journey through the cybersecurity landscape in 2025, let's consider 3 of the most outrageous cyber incidents that demonstrate just how bizarre and unpredictable this field has become. First, there is the case of WhatsApp spyware hack confirmed by Meta, not a small and defenseless company, in early 2025, where sophisticated spyware targeted users. Second, consider the March 2025 breach of Oracle Cloud, where 6 million records were exfiltrated via suspected undisclosed weakness, impacting more than 140,000 tenants. The attackers demanded a ransom and marketed sensitive data online, including JKS files, encrypted SSO passwords, key files, and Enterprise Manager JPS keys. And finally, perhaps most bizarrely, there is the April 2025 Fog ransomware campaign, where attackers used language in their ransom notes that appeared to mock Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency in an effort to prod victims. In a twisted psychological game, the ransom notes also offered a decrypt for free option if the victim chooses to spread the ransomware to somebody else's computer, turning victims into unwitting accomplices in further attacks. These examples show how in the world of cybersecurity, truth is often stranger than fiction, and the threats we face continue to evolve in ways that challenge our understanding and our defenses. So, stay vigilant and stay safe. And now you know how to do it, because knowing is winning. Thank you very much for watching.